besides being two of the most successful actors in Hollywood. Morgan Freeman and Vin Diesel are businessmen who have made a lot of money during their careers. But have you ever wondered which of them has the most luxurious life? In this video, you'll see a fierce battle between Morgan Freeman and Vin Diesel. So let's fight! Before we get started, I challenge you. You have to click on subscribe and activate notifications, check the option all. But you have to do that in less than 5 seconds. You got it? And if you can, write in the comments #AllAboutSubscribe. Alright, let's get started. Real estate. When it comes to investing in good places to live, the two stars don't usually skimp, but which of them has the most expensive and luxurious property? Vin Diesel, for example, has owned a house in the city for more than 16 years. Vin Diesel's property sits on a 31,200 square foot lot on a quiet, heavily wooded residential street in the hilly Beverly Crest neighborhood. Built in 1957, the house appears to have never undergone any renovations, remaining the same decor since its creation. The interior of the house is quite simple for a man as wealthy as he is, which shows that despite being a Hollywood star, Vin Diesel seems to be not at all attached to luxuries. The property has about 1,500 square feet of floor space, divided into 2 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. In the master suite, there is a spacious bathroom with marble imitating ceramic tiles and a beautiful bathtub. And even though the house looks ordinary, it is still worth good money due to its good location. And although there is no information on whether Vin Diesel still lives in this house, it is known that in 2016 the property was put up for sale for about $1.4 million. Another property he is speculated to own is a mansion in metropolitan Atlanta, Georgia. Located in a prime area with many mansion buildings in the neighborhood, the property is on a huge plot of land surrounded by trees, looking very much like a wooded castle. The interior of the house is enormous, with over 1,000 square meters divided over 2 floors, 7 spacious bedrooms, and 9 luxurious bathrooms, more than enough space to house the entire cast of the film if they so desire. The residence is classically and luxuriously decorated, for example with huge chandeliers that bring a sense of sophistication to the environment. The rooms also have a strong presence of wood, something that was widely used in older buildings, and that is even more visible in the office that is all covered. Another quality of this big house is that the rooms are very spacious and wide, with a ceiling height of approximately 3.6 meters, besides having huge windows that go almost from the floor to the ceiling and bring great natural lighting. And of course, the property is also equipped with several typical mansion amenities, such as a beautiful swimming pool, complete gym, movie room, and even a wine cellar. So we can say without a doubt that this residence is on par with Vin Diesel. And it is known that the actor initially rented the property for about $30,000 a month, but according to some sources, he later bought it for something around $3.3 million. Since 2001, it has been speculated that the actor lives with his family in a mansion situated on a 2.14-acre lot, which was purchased in 2001 for about $2.25 million, but according to some sources, the property is currently valued at more than $5.3 million. Morgan Freeman, on the other hand, despite being very private about his personal life, is known to live on a large 124-acre ranch, a huge space capable of offering him a lot of privacy and housing everything he needs to live a very peaceful life. During an interview for The Tonight Show, the actor said he has made a hobby of the creation of wild bees. Morgan said he imported 26 hives for his ranch and feeds them, but with no intention of harvesting honey or dismantling the hives. All this in order to preserve and save bees and help them back to the planet more and more, seeing as they are imperative to nature. And even though there is very little information about what the inside of the property looks like, there is a lot of speculation about how much the actor's property is worth. And according to some sources specializing in real estate values, it's estimated that Morgan Freeman's ranch could cost somewhere around $10 million. And for having a more valuable property, Morgan Freeman wins this round. Point for him. Cars. Both actors like to drive luxurious cars, but which of them has the most expensive cars at their disposal? Morgan Freeman, for example, has been seen driving a Nissan Maxima, a vehicle that he even had a serious accident, a sad episode that resulted in several injuries, but without any fatalities. The only long-term effect was the loss of movement of his left hand, which to this day has not recovered. And that is why he is always seen using a compression glove intermittently to ensure that blood does not pool in the region. Morgan has also been seen driving a 2004 Chevrolet Corvette Indy 500, a collectible that can cost $50,000 depending on its preservation. He has also been seen getting out of a GMC Yukon Denali, a spacious and comfortable SUV ideal for everyday use. And depending on the model and year, the vehicle can cost around $80,000. The actor has also been spotted getting into a Cadillac Scarlet, a huge car capable of offering a lot of comfort and safety for all its passengers. And to get an idea of price, depending on the model, it can reach about $90,000. Freeman has also owned a Tesla Model S, a super technological car packed with digital amenities, as well as having a great range, being able to travel up to 405 miles on a single electric charge. And maybe that's why this dream car for many people is worth around $125,000. But it is speculated that the most expensive car the actor ever owned was a Lamborghini Aventador, a super sports car capable of reaching impressive speeds, being among the fastest cars in the world. The vehicle features a 770 horsepower engine that accelerates from 0 to 60 miles per hour in an unbelievable 2.8 seconds, reaching a top speed of 220 miles per hour. And to own one of these, you may need to cash out over $450,000. Meanwhile, some sources speculate that Vin Diesel owns beautiful cars, such as $25,000 1993 Mazda RX-7, $28,000 Subaru Impreza WRX STI, $30,000 1966 Pontiac Bonneville, $35,000 BMW E60 M5, $50,000 1973 Chevy Camaro, $75,000 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner, $80,000 1994 Toyota Supra, $165,000 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona, $170,000 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle. Vin Diesel loves cars so much that on his birthday he usually gets beautiful cars as gifts from his friends. An example is his 1970 Dodge Charger, a vehicle made for those who like speed and are passionate about old cars. This car is equipped with a powerful engine, capable of accelerating from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 6.3 seconds, which is not bad for a vehicle that was manufactured in the 1970s. And to give you an idea of the price, you can find this same car model being advertised for over $200,000. From his friend Tyrese Gibson, Vin Diesel got a beautiful Rolls-Royce Sprinter van as a gift. It is a spacious and comfortable vehicle, which was customized to deliver plenty of luxury and sophistication to the actor. And it's no wonder that the price of the car was estimated at around $250,000. The most expensive vehicle that Vin Diesel is speculated to own is a Lykan Hypersport, a super luxury sports car that has already appeared in scenes from the movie Fast and Furious 7. This fantastic car is equipped with a super engine capable of accelerating from 0 to 62 miles per hour in an unbelievable 2.8 seconds, reaching a top speed of 248 miles per hour. And not just anyone can have one of these in their garage, as only 7 units were produced worldwide, all of which are already owned. And at the time the vehicle was produced, it sold for a whopping $3.4 million. And for owning the most luxurious cars, Vin Diesel wins this round. Point for him. Jet. When it comes to traveling, both stars use private jets, but who has the most expensive aircraft? Starting with actor Vin Diesel. For him to get around during the filming of Fast and Furious 7, for example, a Boeing 777 was chartered to carry Vin Diesel and the entire crew. It is one of the largest twin-engine aircraft in the world, with a capacity to carry more than 500 people depending on its configuration. And to charter, this same model of aircraft is estimated to cost about $28,000 for each hour of flight, so it is very likely to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. Morgan Freeman is passionate about aviation, having even gotten his license to fly some small jet models in 2002. And since money is not an issue, it is known that he once owned 3 aircraft. Starting by the cheapest, he once owned a Cessna 414, a twin-engine plane with a capacity to carry up to 8 passengers, whose price is estimated around $500,000. From the same brand but more sophisticated, he also owns a Cessna Citation 501, a small turbofan-powered business jet capable of carrying only 5 passengers. And to give you an idea of price, depending on the year and model, this private jet can top a price of $800,000. The actor's most expensive aircraft is the ME-Vest SJ-30 model, a modern light executive jet. This private jet is powered by powerful turbofan engines capable of reaching a top speed of approximately 560 miles per hour, having a range of almost 2,900 miles. Its interior is also very comfortable and cozy, having capacity to house up to 9 passengers. And it's no wonder that to acquire this aircraft, you may need to invest something around $7,500,000. And because Morgan Freeman has a lot of jets, he easily wins this round. Point for him. Yacht. When the two actors go on vacation, they like to enjoy their time on the high seas, but who has the best yacht? Despite having enough money to buy any ship, the actor doesn't consider sailing a form of showing off, but a great hobby. The actor's first boat was the Alberg 30 model, an old and small boat valued around $30,000. In the 1980s, he decided to acquire a new Shannon 38, a larger and sturdier boat, valued at approximately $80,000. The most expensive and recent one he owns, on the other hand, was the Shannon 43 model, a more modern version of his last boat, whose price can exceed $400,000. Vin Diesel, on the other hand, is not far behind. The actor has been spotted several times enjoying life aboard beautiful, sophisticated yachts. And although we do not know the exact model of the boat used by the actor, it is very likely that to rent it must have cost a few tens of thousands of dollars. Considering that Morgan has his own boats, he wins this round. Point for him. Sources of income. Both stars also like to diversify their sources of income, but which of them has the most lucrative businesses? Morgan Freeman, for example, earns a lot of money in various ways. He once owned, for example, Mad Edie, an Americanized French cuisine restaurant. Morgan also owns Ground Zero Blues Club, a concert club filled with quirky, alternative decorations that seems to be frequented by older people. One of his most profitable businesses, meanwhile, is probably his production company, Revelations Entertainment, which has produced some hit movies like Along Came a Spider and Invictus. Another source of income for the actor is through advertising. Because he is a famous actor, with a remarkable voice and an older age, Morgan has a lot of trust and credibility with the public, and this ends up attracting the interest of several brands and associating their image to his. The actor has even done commercials for major companies such as Mountain Dew Ice, Visa, Turkish Airlines, Lego, among others. To get an idea of values, according to Forbes magazine, for Morgan to be the voice of Visa debit cards in 2010, he charged about $2 million, a figure that would have increased even more with the renewal of the contract. Social media can also be considered another source of Morgan's income. This is because he has millions of people who follow him on different platforms. On Facebook alone, for example, he has more than 32 million followers, a huge audience that can bring him huge financial returns with advertising or even selling his own products. Vin Diesel, on the other hand, is not far behind. Due to his distinctive baritone voice, he can make a name for himself as a narrator and has lent his voice to many successful movies such as Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers, Infinity War, Avengers, Endgame, and Thor: Love and Thunder. Because Vin Diesel is considered a world-renowned celebrity, he can also earn income from this. To get an idea of the actor's popularity, on Instagram alone he has almost 90 million followers, and on Facebook this number exceeds 100 million people. And all this fame ends up attracting the interest of some brands to sponsor him, such as the Chinese electric vehicle manufacturer Yadea and the American car brand Dodge. As an entrepreneur, Vin Diesel founded the production company One Race Films, which has already released several films starring him, which contributes to further increasing his share in the profits of the films in which he participates. Among the films already made by his company are, for example, The Last Witch Hunter, Babylon AD, Bloodshot, Riddick, XXX, Return of Xander Cage, among many others. But without a doubt, The company's main source of revenue comes from the Fast and Furious franchise, a series that has already grossed billions of dollars. To get an idea of the size of the film's productions, it is estimated that in Fast and Furious 6 alone they destroyed around 350 cars, and if we add up all the films in the franchise, this number can easily exceed the incredible mark of 1,500 vehicles that turned to dust. And of course, to spend that kind of money, you need to have a nice financial return. The movie series starring Vin Diesel is one of the most profitable in the history of cinema, earning, for example, about $1,236 million in The Fate of the Furious, and even the incredible $1.5 billion in Furious 7. And if you add up the sales of all the films in the franchise, the number exceeds the incredible $6 billion mark. And because it's difficult to determine the turnover of all the businesses, we'll consider this round a draw. Points for both. Net worth. Both actors have well-established careers, but who has amassed the greatest net worth? Vin Diesel, for example, has also made a lot of money in his career. His money has also been growing as his movies became more successful and his name became more and more known in the movie industry. To get an idea of his earnings, it is estimated that he received about $100,000 for Saving Private Ryan, $1.5 million for The Fast and the Furious, $11.5 million for The Chronicles of Riddick, $15 million for Fast 5, $20 million for The Fate of the Furious, and an unbelievable $47 million for Furious 7 because the movie was a box office champ and he increased his fee due to his participation in the profits through his production company. And it is no wonder that he is always present in the Forbes list of the highest paid actors in the world. And even though nobody knows exactly how much his fortune is, according to some sources it is estimated that he has a net worth of approximately $250 million. Morgan Freeman, on the other hand, took a long time to achieve his success. That's because he started his acting career in his preteen years, but didn't start making money until many decades later. As the years went by, the films Morgan starred in began to become more and more successful and his name became more and more known in the film industry. Nowadays, he has become one of the most prestigious actors in Hollywood, and this has caused the amount of money he receives for each film to increase exponentially. To get an idea of figures, it is estimated that he receives a fixed salary of at least $5 million on each of his appearances, a figure that can increase to $10 million depending on the size of the production. That's not to mention box office result bonuses, which could boost his income even further. Some sources estimate that the most lucrative year of Morgan Freeman's career was in 2013, when he made a whopping $30 million after adding up all of his annual earnings. And the reason he makes so much money is because the movies he's in bring in a lot of financial return. The Dark Knight Rises movie alone, for example, was a true commercial success, raking in over $1 billion at box offices worldwide. Adding up all the movies Morgan has been in, that number exceeds the $5 billion mark, putting him on the list of highest-grossing actors in the world. And while no one really knows how much his net worth really is, many sources estimate that throughout his entire career, Morgan Freeman at the height of his 85 years has managed to amass a net worth that is around $250 million. A figure that could be much higher had he not been forced to pay his ex-wife in 2010 a divorce settlement that came in nearly at $200 million. And because the two stars have the same estimated fortune, this round is tied. Points for both. At the end of this fight, we have 3 points for Vin Diesel against 5 points for Morgan Freeman, making him the winner of this battle. But if you think there are still other arguments to defend one of the two, write your best justification below. Hey, you like the video? So don't forget about leave your like and comment, and tell some suggestions of another videos, and hopefully we gonna do it. All about channel, deals to satisfy your curiosity.